Get him. Get him. Hit him with a pose. Yeah.
Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy Basten HD here, and welcome to another YouTube video. So the team of the season event is running the game right now, and there are so many cards being released every single week. We're currently going into the La Liga week of the recording of this video. In today's video, we're going to be going over the top 10 strikers that are currently in FC Mobile, or that I believe that are currently in FC Mobile. Before we get into the video, I do want to let you guys know this is my opinion and my personal opinion only, based on the players that I've used and have experience with. I'm creating my top 10s list. Also, we're only going to be doing the natural strikers, okay? So players that have ST on their card. So left and right wingers that can play the striker role will not be included in this video. They're going to have their own separate video. So without further ado, we're now going to get started going into the list, starting with our number 10. All right, ladies and gentlemen, number 10 is going to be Richarlison. Okay, so the 103 pitch beats Richarlison. All right, so this card is for my broke boys. It is for people with budget squads, and it's for newer players who are just joining FC Mobile. Obviously, it's a 103 overall, so 4-star stamina, 4-star skills. Going into, you know, all the attributes that he has. One thing to look forward to on this card is his agility is not too bad. He's really good with the turn, the joysticks, and all that good stuff. Going into his traits, high medium work rate. He does have the power header, flare, and outside of the foot shot, along with the 5-star weak foot. Now, the reason this card is the number 10, because he is very good to start out with. He's super cheap, so getting his rank 5 should be very affordable. So if you are going to run a card like this as a sub, or maybe for your cheap B squad, just make sure to get the rank 5 and then training 27 plus. All right, boys, we're not heading into our number 9. All right, ladies and gentlemen, number 9 is going to be Matheus Cunha. This card, I mean, he's had a lot of versions. He's had another striker version. He's had cam cards. So this striker, Matheus Cunha, I do believe he can play the cam role. Yes, he can. So running a card like this and using as cam is the best way to go. But natural striker wise, this card is taking our number 9 spot. Just looking at his pace is where it's pretty much one of the best attributes that he has. He's quite explosive. The dribbling is not as high. His finishing is very good as well. 4.5-star stamina, 4-star skills. He's 6 foot, very quite strong as well. Has really good hold up play, so he can be used as a singular or dual striker card. He has the high work rate, so a lot of people will stay away from this card just because of the high work rate. And if you are running singular striker, I don't think this would be quite the right choice, because he's both offensive and defensive. Running like dual striker and stuff like that, this card will work a lot better. Going into his transfer value, he is low budget whether you like it or not, so also getting his rank 5 is an absolute must. Now moving on to our number 8. All right, ladies and gentlemen, number 8 for our top 10 strikers is going to be Benjamin Sesko. Okay, so this card, bro, I don't know what type of juice EA put on this card, but it's the pitch beats 105 rated Benjamin Sesko. Okay, so his stamina, first of all, he has the 4-star stamina, so this card can either be used as a super sub, or he can start out for you and maybe last you around 60 minutes, and then you have to bring on another card. Another thing we can look at is his skill move. He does have the 3-star skills. Unfortunately, he won't be able to do lane change, but there are 2 moves you only need for this card, which is the step over exit and the heel to heel, which are meta in the current gameplay. So he's super rapid. Like, once this card starts accelerating, he's so quick. Going into his trades, he does have the high medium work rate and the flare trade as well. Going into his transfer value, he's very cheap, very affordable. You can use him on your starting squad if you're just starting out in the game, or if you have a low budget, or you can get him as a super sub. Like, he is a great super sub. Now, without further ado, we're going to be moving into our number 7. All right, ladies and gentlemen, number 7 is going to be Kvaratskhelia. Okay, so the 107 rated Kvaratskhelia, 117 pace, very agile card, very quick, 4-star stamina and 5-star skills. Now, there is a downside when it comes to this card. Of course, he has the 5-star weak foot, and it's his stamina. There are lots of cards where when they have 4-star stamina, they're still very usable, and sometimes they last longer than they should. But with this Kvaratskhelia, he does actually feel like he has 3.5-star instead of 4-star. This card runs out of stamina, and you're gonna need to make a sub by the 60th minute or whatnot. But his production, what he gives you in game, and his joystick dribbling is one of the best. Because of the 5-star skills, he can do the elastico, which is quite broken in this game. Going into his traits, he has the high medium work rate, finesse shot, flair, long shot taker outside of the foot. So the problem is not with his stats and what he can give you. The only problem with this card is his stamina. And then going into his transfer value, he's still very affordable if you look at it. So getting his rank 5 is also an absolute must. Now moving on to our number 6. All right, ladies and gentlemen, number 6 is going to be none other than Fernando Torres. So the 107 pitch beats Fernando Torres. Now there's a lot of things going around about this card, with him being good, him being inconsistent, him being nerfed, him being this, him being that. Stamina, 4.5 star stamina, 4-star skills. Again, this card is one of the cards to where he's very quick. He's a well-rounded card, but when you look at his agility, he has 115 agility. So with this version of his card, of course, in game, sometimes Fernando Torres, he feels very agile, very quick on the turns, and then sometimes he feels a bit clunky. So that inconsistency comes with his agility. The best way I believe to use this card, he's kind of like the Sesko, he's like the Gyökeres, where you have to do one move and then keep going with that move. So you have to look for the perfect time to do your heel to heel, perfect time to do your step over exit, and you can't stop it. You just have to keep accelerating forward. That is the best way to use cards like this. Joystick dribbling and whatnot, yes, some of these cards can do it, but it's meant for smaller cards. Going into his trades, he does have the high medium work rate, the outside of the foot shot, power header, flare trait, and finesse shot. And then going into his transfer value, also quite affordable. So getting his rank 4, preferably his rank 5, would be the best way to go. Also for the number 6 spot, we're going to do Winter Wonders Thierry Henry. I know he has a Team of the Year left winger version. Because wingers are not included in this video, you can also use that Thierry Henry, his left winger version playing striker. So this card is also very well rounded. Stamina, 4.5 star, 4-star skills. There is a couple things I'm going to go into about this card, which would be his agility being 114 as well. So again, being 6'2", but Henry is very, very agile. He's one of those cards where he can make those turns and he can do whatnot. But 4-star weak foot, high medium work rate, finesse shot, flare, long shot taker, and outside of the foot. Now this card is very affordable, probably because the Team of the Season version is out, but getting this card rank 5 is an absolute must. I currently have his rank 4 and I don't like it quite as much because it's not as explosive. But when you get his rank 5 and then training 27 plus or training 30, for some reason he's a lot quicker than his rank 4. Now moving on to our number 5. All right, ladies and gentlemen, number 5 is going to be Kylian Mbappe and Anderson Talisca. So those two are going to be our number 5s. Okay, so we're going to start with Anderson Talisca. All right, so Talisca finally got a striker card. The last card he had was a winger card to where he could play striker and he could also play cam, I believe. 4-star stamina, 4-star skills. Yes, this card can be used as a super sub and he can also be used as a starting card, but just make sure because of the 4-star stamina, he's gonna need to have another, you're gonna need to have another striker on your bench pretty much. Don't look at the pace, don't look at the dribbling. This card is one of the most explosive cards currently in the game, and for someone who is 6'3", we looked at Fernando Torres, we looked at Henry, we looked at their agility and what they bring to the table, and all that was like 115, 114, but the 6'3" Maestro has 121 agility, just agility, and his acceleration is he's explosive, he's quick, he can turn. This card is one of the most enjoyable cards to use right now, and I just cannot stop using him. One of the most broken cards to use right now. Medium low work rate. I would pretty much say you don't really need to worry about Talisca's work rate. He's like a Van Basten where their work rate don't matter as much, and if you do find something wrong with his work rate, maybe I haven't tried him at singular striker, maybe it's because of that, but using him at dual striker, he's just one of the most funnest card I've used in a while. Going into his transfer value as well, he's accessible for everyone. Just make sure you're using his rank 5 and training 30. And now for Kylian Mbappe. Okay, so this is the ultimate Team of the Year Kylian Mbappe. For the recording of this video, this is the version that's in the game right now, but if you are watching this after the La Liga Team of the Season card has been released, then obviously that's the one you want to try and get. Okay, so 4.5-star stamina, 5-star skills as well. This card with the elastical Elastico is also one of the most broken Elastico I've seen in the game. He's so quick with the Elastico, and he just accelerates away and away and away. Okay, so we know Kylian Mbappe is really quick, but dude, he's so jammy once he starts accelerating. High low work rate, finesse shot, flare, outside of the foot shot. Looking into his price value, I do believe his price value will drop a bit more after he gets a team of the season version released. It is confirmed. So getting his rank 4, preferably his rank 5. You want his rank 5 would be the best way to go. Now moving on to our number 4. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our number 4 is going to be Kenny Dalglish and Johan Cruyff. Those are going to be our number 4 for these strikers. We're going to start with Johan Cruyff. I use this Johan Cruyff still. I use him in the cam position. I mean, Cruyff has been overshadowed by a lot of, you know, the 108s and the 109 cards being released, but he's still an absolute unit of a card. He has the 4.5 star stamina and he has the 5-star skills. One of the most broken cards to the game to date still. 5-star weak foot as well. Joystick feels the most incredible. Now the question that a lot of people would ask is, can he play singular striker or dual striker? I'm going to go back to saying, because I remember previously I said he can play singular striker, but I'll go back to saying he's going to be more of a dual striker card or a cam. If you're going to get him and you want to run him at cam, then absolutely yes. Going into his traits, high low work rate, flare, playmaker, and outside of the foot shot. This card is just still very broken, you guys. Like, he has one of the best finesse shots in game. He's just so jammy, and I've been loving using him a lot more and more. Would recommend saying getting his rank 5 is an absolute must. With a lot of these 107s now and 106 and lower, you want their rank 5 to get the best performance out of them. And our second number 4 is going to be Kenny Dalglish. I mean, there is a bit of a height difference, but they're very similar with their gameplay and playstyle. Like, these cards are almost identical. So again, with Kenny Dalglish, the only history I have with him was from the HOL event when he got his 101 HOL striker card, I believed, and I ran him my cam and absolutely loved it. So I know he does. I just checked and he doesn't have cam on his card list, but he will be a great cam. Now, with the Kenny Dalglish, I do not recommend him for singular striker just because he's too small. He's 5'8". Like, smaller strikers, I don't recommend for singular striker, but he's quick, he's agile, he has the 5-star weak foot. So dual striker would be the best. Okay, so if you're going to run Kenny Dalglish, you need Dalglish and probably another tall striker. Okay, so 4.5 star stamina, 4-star skills. Going into his traits, high medium work rate, finesse shot, flare, long shot taker outside of the foot. Again, very identical to Cruyff. His shooting is so good. His joystick is one of the best in the game currently. Going into his transfer value, for a 108, he's quite affordable, so getting his rank 5 as well is an absolute must. Now moving on to our number 3. All right, ladies and gentlemen, number 3 is going to be R9 and CR7. Okay, so we're going to start off with the CR7. So both the Ronaldo boys are taking our number 3 spots. This Ultimate Team of the Year Ronaldo, every striker list I make that since he's been introduced and I found out about it, easy, bro, this card is mental, bro. He has the pace, he has the dribbling, he has the physical. This version of Ronaldo has surprised me so much. I don't know. Other versions in the past has been released of this card and I've just never liked them, but this particular version has been so good. Going into his traits, he does have the high low work rate, flare, long shot taker, power header outside the foot shot, and then the only downside would be his transfer value. Because it's CR7 and no one else, he's quite expensive, so getting his rank 5 is also an absolute must for this 107 CR7. All right, and then going into the newly released team of the season R9. This card is currently taking the number 3 spot in this moment. So 4.5 star stamina, 5-star skills. I did manage to do a player review on him, and he was absolutely insane. Like, his shooting, like, if he can face the goal and he can shoot anything. So his finishing wasn't what I was, why he's taking the number 3 spot. Okay, it comes down to his acceleration and his sprint speed, and just getting away from defenders. Like, he's strong enough to hold the ball. His hold up play is very good, so he can play singular and dual striker. It's just when you're doing heel to heel, step over exit, when he's accelerating, compared to other cards that I've previously mentioned, this card cannot get away from them as quick enough as other cards, and this card has the most speed stats in this game. Outside of speed, outside of, you know, everything else, his joystick dribbling is pretty good as well. And for how much shards or how much coins this card is going into the transfer value, I just didn't feel like he met that expectation of speed of that, but everything else he has, like, he has everything else. Just in my personal experience, this is our number 3 striker. Okay, now moving on to our number 2. All right, ladies and gentlemen, number 2 is going to be 108 Alexander Isak, and for now, the Victor Gyökeres Ultimate Team of the Year. Okay, so the Ultimate Team of the Year, Victor Gyökeres and the Alexander Isak, the 2 Swedish boys. Okay, now we're going to break them down, starting with the Gyökeres. So this Victor Gyökeres is still one of the most annoying strikers, one of the most annoying cards in the game. Don't get me wrong. 3-star skills, it doesn't nerf him in any way, shape, or form, other than the fact that he cannot do lane change, and yeah, that's about it. Okay, but step over exit, he got it. Heel to heel, he got it. One of the quickest strikers in the game, he got it. 5-star stamina, which doesn't really help the case of how do we stop this card. High medium work rate and no other traits, but we know he has that acceleration, we know he has everything else, plus the 5-star weak foot. Going into his transfer value, very affordable card, so getting his rank 5 is an absolute must. And then going into the Alexander Isak, fortunately enough, I did try out this card, but I just feel like I didn't give him enough games. But playing against this card is what made me put him at the number 2 spot with Gyökeres. 4-star stamina, 4-star skills. Once again, this is a starting card, by the way. You can start a card like this. He does feel like he has the 4.5-star stamina. Standing at 6'4", they give him the pace, they give him the shooting, they give him the dribbling, the acceleration. Going into his traits, high medium work rate, finesse shot, and flair. One of the best finishers in the game. And then his transfer value, he's holding value, like he's really holding it. So you can get his rank 3 if you're going to claim him with shards. I mean, you absolutely can if he's the card that you're going for. I'm not sure if he's going to get an Ultimate Team of the Season or not to get that 109, but yeah, he's still a 108. Getting his rank 4, preferably his rank 5. Like I said, with 108s and lower, their rank 5 is something you want to try and get. Now, boys, without further ado, we're going to be moving into our number 1. The number 1 striker for me currently in FC Mobile will probably be Marco van Basten. Not probably, it has to be Marco van Basten. Again, the Team of the Season version. Something else I wanted to tell you guys, with all the cards that I've listed, if you are not able to afford any of these current versions, you can go and use their lesser versions, so the ones that you can afford. 4.5-star stamina, 4-star skills. Looking at all the stats, you don't really have to say anything, but there is something I wanted to talk about with the Van Basten card. Again, when we see 6'2", and you look at his agility, in some games, not every game, but in some games, his joystick turn's gonna feel a bit clunky. His, joystick dribbling is gonna feel a bit clunky. His turns are gonna feel a bit clunky, especially when they start getting tired. Going into his traits, the medium-low work rate. We want to talk about the medium-low work rate. Does it matter? No. For Van Basten, it just doesn't. He's still cracked to the core. Okay, you can use him as singular striker and dual striker. He works well everywhere. You can even use them in your mom's page. But yeah, so finesse shot trait outside of the first shot. R9 and Van Basten have the best finishing currently in the game, but I feel like Van Basten, I've talked about his finesse shot previously in months ago, that he has the best finesse shot in this game. For some reason, when Van Basten takes a finesse shot, Van Basten, Isak, they cannot be stopped. I know he has the trait for it, but it's just so good, man. Going into his transfer value, obviously as a 109, his price is deteriorating a little bit. He's quite affordable for the whales, and if you have enough shards, 1.5k, you can go ahead and claim him. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for the top 10 striker video. Once again, if you guys do enjoy the video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe, and if you do enjoy content like this one, make sure to click this video next.